Well, when there are major events here in Las Vegas, we often tell you how Metro is going to use that time to try and prevent and locate sex trafficking victims. But the trade happens here every day, every night, whether there's a special event or not. And Las Vegas lands on a pretty shameful list for its staggering sex trafficking numbers. So tonight, I introduce you to a local nonprofit built by a woman who escaped the nightmare and now lights the way for those who are still trapped. Annie Lobert vividly remembers each time she nearly died.
My pain was so severe. It was so severe, I tried to kill myself several times.
Sex trafficked when she was just 8 years old, it started decades of exploitation, manipulation, and isolation. Crime so vile, it was underground. But now, thanks to the internet and social media, the sex trade has exploded.
That's why trafficking has gotten probably 1,000 times worse.
Las Vegas is one of a handful of hub cities, making it ripe for traffickers to exploit victims. Here's why. A high influx of tourists increases demand for commercial sex. The popular disbelief that prostitution is legal here. A large transient population, including runaways and homeless teens, and a 24/7 economy to exploit victims day and night. Plus, we have an interstate highway and an airport, making domestic and international trafficking much easier. But for Rachel, it wasn't opportunity, but vulnerability that robbed her of her freedom, identity, and dignity.
Feeling like I'm trapped inside of my trauma and there's no way out.
She was targeted by someone she trusted. After spending most of her adult life as a missionary outside of the U.S., returning home felt foreign. She fell into the wrong crowd with the wrong people. Her doctrine and worship replaced with drugs and alcohol, eventually developing a trauma bond with an abuser that led to prison.
A year out of prison, I was thinking, if this is it for me, if this is the life that I'm stuck in, I don't know that I want it. And I was in a place where I thought that maybe death was better.
Luckily, she heard about Pink Chair, Hookers for Jesus, the faith-based program that Annie created more than 2 decades ago.
If I can share my house, my living room, my bathroom, whatever I need to help someone with a child, with themselves, get away from their evil tormentor, trafficker, I did it. And I'm still doing it to this day.
She started outreach in 2004, but years later, she found this place.
We're going to go over to the Destiny House.
Destiny House is the home base for the charity, where hundreds of victims are given a second chance. Less than a dozen women, like Rachel, sleep and eat here. They receive extensive therapy, life skills classes, trauma healing, and spirituality-led courses, all designed to build a new, secure life.
Yeah, just helping people.
Ashley is a Pink Chair graduate and quickly paid it forward, working here and answering desperate calls for help.
It can be someone calling who's literally leaving their trafficker running on the street as it's happening, or it could be someone who is literally crying out for help, for resources. Maybe they're homeless. It could be someone who's dealing with their children and their trafficker has custody over them, or their abuser.
Talking to someone who knows exactly what you're going through is critical to the program. It's survivor-led and survivor-oriented. For Ashley, it turned her pain into purpose.
When I was a client, I never thought that I was going to make it this far. And to hear someone say, you're the reason why I'm here, because you kept talking with me, you kept supporting me, you kept encouraging me. It just shows that no matter what you've been through in life, you can always give back and always help other people with what you've been through.
Once Annie escaped, she wrote a book called Fallen and hosts a podcast to reach trafficking victims. She serves on Metro's Sex Trafficking Task Force. Her work, her passion, her mission never ends.
I knew that if I helped just one person, maybe I could create someone else like me. Because when I die, I don't want to die with just me. I want to leave this to the survivors. This is their house. This is their organization. And I want to keep it that way.
Now, for more on this discussion, along with some of the other local groups that help, we have an hour-long segment that you can find in our streaming app here. This is part of it with not only Annie, but some of the other advocates as well. Now, you can find that in full exclusively on our 8 News Now Vegas TV app. It's available on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. And you can also catch up on newscasts and other special shows there, too.